We open on an insane asylum where the patient in question is Dr. Colin, a former surgeon. This is Dr. Starr, the director.
The state has a great need for gifted surgeons, Dr. Cullen. I believe with my help you could still become a useful and very productive member of our new society.
Then there's Dr. Jarris, who he has a better rapport with.
Those are gonna kill you.
I'm quitting. Too expensive. Black market doesn't even have them anymore.
That seems kind of random, but I think they're trying to hint at the fact that this takes place in an Orwellian society. That's mentioned in the description on IMDb, but this episode only hints at it. Back in his cell, he appears to have a weird obsession with making anatomically correct clay figures, or mannequins.
Observe the detail, and it cannot be corrupted.
Also, they're alive, or he thinks they are.
Quiet! There will be no talking. Is that understood?
I feel like I should be amused by this bit of fourth wall breaking, but he holds this expression for so long it's genuinely creepy. The next day, he's thrilled when Dr. Jarris brings him some anatomy books he requested.
I would have thought you already knew everything there was to know.
At one time I did, but there wasn't any room up here anymore, and my brain exploded, and they locked me up.
She thinks he could get out if he wanted to, but he'd rather not.
I have my work here. I want to say I am on the verge of a breakthrough.
It's remarkable what you've done. These are so realistic. This one almost looks like...
Anatomically correct, except without nipples. Considering the genitalia on the male mannequins, that seems like a weird detail to leave out. I guess it was an issue with the censors?
Hope you don't mind. It's not finished yet.
Maybe that's why. Also, I guess this is something that would normally be a red flag, but he's surprisingly cute about it. Maybe that's why Dr. Jarris doesn't mind.
We're all decaying tissue, all of us. Turning to dust, clay.
Anyway...
I'm supposed to take you to the day room.
Yeah, it'd be good for him to get out of his cell for a while, but he doesn't want to be taken away from his work. He also doesn't trust Dr. Starr.
What does he know? He's a party-appointed imbecile, a stupid little ant-brain twit.
Please come with me.
Oh, he's a little sweet on her. That's kind of cute. So Dr. Starr puts Colin into a trance of sorts and asks him some questions. It turns out that he's been having hallucinations about coming apart, as they put it.
I was working. My arms are becoming numb. They seem to go dead. Then my hands separated from my wrists and they moved on their own across the table.
Well, there's your problem. You've been reading too much Clive Barker. Eventually, he began to feel his organs trying to escape from his body, which he believes is dying.
But I found a way to save myself through my work.
And this is where the mannequins come in.
I am putting some of myself in every one of them.
What's he putting in that clay?
I am going to transfer my soul, my intellect, my existence. My body will dissolve, but I'll live on in them.
By the end, he becomes worried that Dr. Starr will try to stop his work, and he goes into full-on panic mode.
There's nothing to be afraid of. What do you see?
Seriously, dude, lay off the Clive Barker short stories. Later, back in his cell, he's sculpting the ear of one of his mannequins. And it seems to be working too well. It amplifies sound for him and he has to smush it. Apparently he was planning to do some mannequin brain surgery. Anyway...
I'm sorry, Dr. Cullen, but this can't go on.
Yeah, this had to happen at some point. Dr. Starr doesn't like how he's been working non-stop without eating or sleeping, so...
I'm afraid I'm going to have to remove your clay.
Don't you see what I'm doing? I can build you a perfect race of man. I can build you a whole perfect society. That's what you want, isn't it? That's what the state wants, isn't it?
Yeah, there's another hint at the kind of society they live in. But yeah, naturally it doesn't go well.
I'll kill you, you bastard!
Though apparently Colin isn't the only one who can see the mannequins move. Ouch, that's a fat-looking needle.
Clean everything out, strap them down, keep them quiet, do whatever you have to, understood?
Get away, run!
I think he's telling the mannequins to run away, but they don't seem to be listening. Later, he's strapped to the bed, but some friends show up to get him out. Meanwhile, Dr. Starr has a couple of the mannequins in his office. Dr. Jarris comes by and tries to talk him into letting her help Colin.
There's nothing more to talk about. Vodka. He hasn't responded to any treatment. He's a hopeless case. I cannot justify his therapy any longer.
That man saved hundreds of lives during the war. He's a brilliant surgeon.
This is kind of neat. He cuts the mannequin in half and you can see its intestines spill out.
This is not the work of a sane man.
Just give me another month.
Oh, trust me, Dr. Jarris, there are some that we cannot save. Admit it. You're personally involved, aren't you?
Up until this point, it seemed that he was maybe too extreme, but seemed to have good intentions.
It moved!
Yeah, it's not gonna end well for this asshole. Rather than going home for the night, Dr. Jarris goes to Colin's room where apparently he's asleep. I'm not sure if she thinks he can hear her or not, but she tells him she's sorry for not being able to help him. Meanwhile, Dr. Starr has apparently passed out from too much vodka. That little naked clay guy is pissed. I guess he's too out of it. Maybe he thinks he's hallucinating. Ooh, right in the eye. And that got Dr. Jarris' attention. I love how he's just standing around chilling, like, yeah, I did this, what are you gonna do? She squishes that thing but good. Not gonna lie, this scene kinda messed me up when I was 14. And yeah, she accidentally straight up murdered Colin. So ends Mannikins of Horror. This is a great episode, probably one of the best. I don't recall if I've said this in regards to a Monsters episode before, but it's been mentioned in other videos. I love the effect of stop motion. If it's done in just the right way, it looks just unrealistic enough to have an uncanny valley effect that's wonderfully creepy and unsettling. It's also low budget, so you're gonna see it a lot in Monsters whenever puppetry of some kind or costumes can't be used. By the way, I'm pretty sure these mannequins are inspired by transparent anatomical mannequins. I also think the actors are great. Colin is weirdly charming, and I like how Dr. Starr is just detached enough that you can't tell if he's evil or if Colin is paranoid until the very end. And this is another episode of Monsters that's surprisingly gory. This is the second episode to be adapted from a story by Robert Bloch, the other being The Legacy, and boy is this one ever better than that one. But unlike other episodes that were adapted from short stories, this one has been adapted before. It was also in a horror anthology movie from 1972 called Asylum. The setup for various stories starts with a man applying for a job in the asylum, speaking to a man who worked under Dr. Starr until Dr. Starr became a patient, and this character basically replaces him in the Mannequin story. Mannikins of Horror is actually the last story, and I'll admit that I skipped up to it due to lack of time. The names are different, but overall the story is basically the same, though condensed.
These are not ordinary figures. The eyes were made to see. Inside each skull is a perfectly proportioned brain, perfectly capable of functioning.
And yeah, the mannequins don't look as cool. They have robot bodies, and yeah, they aren't that scary. Though there is a bit of stop motion, which does lend a bit of creepiness to it. More often than not, though, they use puppetry, and it just doesn't work as well. Plus, the camera lingers on it way too long. I haven't read the original story, so I don't know which adaptation is more accurate, but, and naturally I may be a bit biased here, I prefer the Monsters one. Watching this version that has no Dr. Jarris really made me miss that dynamic between her and Colin. I like their chemistry. Also, either this one is condensed or the Monsters one added to the story. If you want to watch the movie yourself, the whole thing has been uploaded to YouTube. Back to this Monsters episode, Dr. Jarris was played by Glynis Barber, who is mainly known for Point Break and the British TV show EastEnders. The other two were character actors who have been in a lot of things, but not known for any particular show or movie. It was directed by Ernest Farino, who is mainly a special effects director and did that for The Thing, The Terminator, Tales from the Dark Side the movie, and the Dune miniseries. Seriously, I love this episode. If you don't watch any other Monsters episode, I definitely recommend this one. Next up is a season finale, La Strega. See you then.